welcome back to another amazing episode of Sip Asians. I'm your girl Jenny J.
And I'm your girl Lady K. And today our topic is, I ain't my mama, I ain't her. That was her. It's me.
Okay.
And basically what we're talking about is breaking generational curses. And with every episode, you know, we got a tasty cocktail. So girl, tell them what we got.
So I made this. I'm playing, y'all. So our drink of the day is called Sunrise. And it's orange juice, little hen dog, little Hennessy. Speaking of Hennessy, y'all know I had to go like all the way around the world to look for Hennessy in Houston. Like, apparently Hennessy is on the shortest. Been away for about a month. They only some of the small ones.
If they drink, then they know that, because I know that.
But anyway, so Sunrise is what it is. So Hennessy, orange juice, a little lemon wedge garnish, our signature pink straw. So let's go ahead and dive into this topic. Oh, and we got a little extra shot for later on in the show. So let's dive on into our topic.
Yeah.
About generational curses.
So, you know, I just want to start off by saying that when people see you and you look like your parent or whatever, they automatically assume that you're gonna be like that person. And in a lot of ways, that can really affect a person, especially if their parent wasn't a real good parent, I want to say. Had a few issues, you know?
Right, yeah.
So I just want to ask you, has any of your past, not necessarily your mom, but like any of the women before you in our family, has it really affected you in a way that has basically had some kind of bearing on how you live your life?
Yes. And I think for me, it's me trying to prove a point.
Okay.
That I'm not like those women before me in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's why I stayed in my relationship so long. Because I was trying to prove a point, you know, that there can be a black family, you know, same mama, same daddy, you know, in the same household,
right,
and live happy.
Yes.
So I think that's why I stayed to fight so long. That was the first one. Like, I got my high school diploma,
right,
in my household. So I was just trying to prove points that I'm not just an average statistic,
right.
You know.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah.
It definitely had a bearing on me because, for one, I look a lot like my mom.
Right.
And I guess some of her ways was in me because, you know, a lot of times, like we said before when we was talking about how our kids have some of our ways. But I guess, like, maybe her attitude a little bit. Maybe I had a little bit of it in me. Mm-hmm. And I would always hear, whenever I would act up, because I was a good kid, if you ask me. You know, I barely got whoopings and stuff like that. And I would hear a lot of times, oh, you're going to be just like your mama. And to say that to somebody when they know that my mother was out in the streets, a drug addict, she was present, but she wasn't present in a way of she was there to be a mom. She was there just because maybe she didn't have no way to stay at the time, so she came home. So to tell a child that, and they looking at their mother like, well, my mama ain't even a good mama, and you telling me that's how I'm going to be, that really will affect you living your life. So I know it affected me because I had a point to prove, like, no, I'm not going to be like her. Right. I don't want to be like her.
Right.
And although I love my mom, don't get me wrong, I love my mother. I can tell she tried in the beginning as a kid, but I slowly watched her. She presented herself to me in one way. Then when she got really heavy on the drugs and stuff, she was absent a lot, you know, when she should have been there. And so that's why I said I will never be like that.
Right.
You know, I'm going to be there for my kids. I'm going to take care of my kids. I'm not going to leave my kids with nobody else. And that affects you growing up, because now I don't even like to ask nobody for help when it comes to my kids. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted all my kids to have the same daddy.
Right, yeah.
And also I feel like in our family a lot of the women don't keep a man. I'm sorry, y'all. but they don't keep a man. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that sticks with you like, I ain't gonna be like that. I'm not finna go from dude to dude to dude to dude.
And you know, I feel like because of what they endured and what they went through, any man we're dealing with,
right?
Niggas ain't shit. I don't trust them. You know, like
we hear that. We hear that. Yeah,
trying to
very true.
Put us in that mind frame that he gonna do the same thing.
Because yeah, my nigga did to me. Yes, and then we hear that. And it just be like, for real, like that's my dude ain't your dude though. But still, we hear that and we start thinking like that. We hear it so much, and we start thinking like they do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know. And then when you do have your shit together, it seems like they be less
hating.
I wasn't gonna say it.
Judging.
I'm talking about the generation before us. Even though I do hang out with the generation before me, we hang out, we go out. But a lot of what y'all did, and I know y'all watching, affected us.
Yes.
We take it to heart. Everything we say, you don't know it, but it affects us heavy.
Right. Or when all the cousins, meaning us, are together and we vibing, we chilling, we hanging out, I feel so much judgment from the older generation upon us. But
honestly, they need to be taking lessons from us. If you ask me, yeah.
Because I feel we know your story. We've been there. We've seen it. You know, we had to live through it also. And then I feel like they come and they judge us. But I mean, we contain ourselves.
Yeah. But also, they all have relationships like we have. They had close relationships like they hung out together.
Right.
They went out together. But now when they not all friends, we supposed to be enemies with our cousins. All of that affects us. Like, I'm not supposed to talk to that side because she mad. Mm-hmm. The matriarch for us.
Right.
Our matriarch is mad. So that's loyalty though.
That is loyalty. But then I'm that one that's like,
we ain't got nothing to do with it.
We don't have nothing to do with that.
We don't.
Your issue, your beef is your beef. Y'all are old enough to get together and settle it. Mm-hmm. You know, and bring our family back together because at this point we are divided.
True.
And we've been divided for
some years.
Because of
the generation before us.
That
whole crew before us.
Exactly.
See, I'm in the middle because they feel like, I was the first girl.
Right.
Out of all y'all. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of like, and my mom was one of the oldest ones. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of like in the middle of the generational thing. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I understand what they saying, like, that they did us dirty, don't talk to them, don't hang out with them, but at the same time, they're my people, like, they're my cousins, that's my crew, like, how am I not supposed to talk to them? But then again, I feel some type of way too, because I'm part of that older generation too, and I understand where they coming from about loyalty and stuff, and I'm big on loyalty, y'all. Right. I'm a rider for mine, for real. So if somebody is mad at the other side, I ain't gonna just be beefing with them, like going back and forth with them. But she say, don't talk to them. I ain't gonna talk to them. I ain't gonna fuck with them.
And we don't talk to them.
Yeah, we don't fuck with them. That's out of loyalty.
I feel like we are one of the faces, family faces of we don't see each other until we at somebody's funeral.
Of course.
That's when we see each other.
Yeah.
And that is so crazy.
But unfortunately, we did have a funeral, and half of our family didn't show up when they should have.
You're
and
absolutely
I'm just saying,
right.
If you watch, that's why.
Absolutely right.
That's why when she said, "Don't fuck with them," I don't fuck with them, and that was my reason why.
But you know what? I think our generation don't even know, because I don't even know. Well, I have an idea, but like, what all started this mess? I have an idea. But the whole thing is, I think it should have been one adult person to go sit down with that other person and say, no, you're wrong. That's not how it's supposed to be.
And at this point, we really only have one real older matriarch left. Like, both of the sisters gone, grandmother gone, she's only one.
Right.
And I feel like she, at this point, deserves all of us around her. Like, she should be guiding us. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel. And it's like that on my dad's side too. On my daddy's side, we only have one female matriarch left. And I feel like all of us need to put the past in the past and try to, love on this lady.
Right.
That's all we got. And we don't have many women to guide us. Like, we need to put them on a pedestal and praise them. But them younger ones in our generation, though, they are judgy.
What you talking about?
Like, the ones, I ain't talking about the ones 60 and above. I'm talking about the ones that, I feel like they judge us.
Oh, definitely. And you know why? Because, in my opinion, all of us in some way or manner are doing better than what they were.
But I feel like they should be proud of it.
Exactly.
Because it was their example and their bad mistakes that they told us about.
Right.
That made us to make the decisions that we do.
Instead of being on the same path as them. Like, you are my mother, my aunt, my cousin, whatever, but your choices are not mine.
Right.
Like, your mishaps in your past is not mine.
And I remember I got pregnant at, 20?
Mm-hmm.
But some of the people in our family had babies before 20. Yeah. And when I went to a family gathering, they all was like, what you gonna do with a baby? I'm like, the same fucking thing you did with yours when you had yours and you was much younger than me. No, you didn't. No, you didn't say what I'm gonna do with a baby. What, the same thing you did with yours? I'm just like, what?
Like, even with that, I made it a point not to be a teenage mom,
right,
or anything. I made it a point, you know, to go to high school, get my diploma. You know, I didn't go to college. I went to community college. I did go,
right,
but I made it a point not to have a baby while I was still in high school,
right,
or underage pregnancy, because of what I've seen in generational curses,
right,
before. Like, these are things that I strive to do, and it's crazy
that you're not proud of me.
It's crazy that those are the kind of goals I set.
Like, I made it to a whole adulthood, been with this man 2 years, we got our own apartment, and I'm pregnant, and you still gonna say, what I'm gonna do with a baby? Bitch, listen. Hey, come on now.
Like, that was a great accomplishment considering our family.
Yes.
Graduating high school, great accomplishment.
Yeah.
I do, how do you say, regret not going to college.
But even getting some kind of technical certificate after college, after high school, that's still an accomplishment.
Yeah.
In our family, having one baby daddy is something to brag about.
It is! Ain't that crazy?
And I got one baby daddy.
Me too, girl. It's crazy, like, seeing, like...
You see how proud we are to have one baby daddy? That's what I'm saying, how it affected us. You know what I'm saying? And not that they have, like, 3, 4, 5 baby daddies, but they may have 2.
They got more than one.
Yeah, they got... They couldn't make it work. And that's what I'm saying. A lot of women in our family, like my dad... Apparently, I never got to see my mom and dad together. That was another thing that really affected me. I never got to see them love on each other or be in love.
Right.
And that really affected me. And I'm so happy that my kids was able to see me and their dad be in love.
Right.
And be happy with each other. You know, even though we had our differences, but, you know, they got the chance to see that. I never seen my mom and dad in love. Like, it's like a fantasy. I just feel like, I wish I could go back and see when y'all liked each other, you know?
But you know, in my case, I do remember my dad would come around, you know, and sit on the floor with me and watch TV. You know, we all be in the same, you know, space.
Right.
But they were never together. Well, he still say he loved him some my mama.
Yeah.
Get on nerves.
I know. And you know what? After my mom passed, my dad was like the same way. He was like, "Ooh, your mama was pretty."
Yeah.
Boy, that woman, she was beautiful. And I used to always say, well, damn, you know, why she had to die for you to let me see that part when she was here. Because my mom used to be on the phone. I used to be at my daddy's house, and my daddy would look at me and say, tell your mama I said go to hell. And I'll be like, Mama, you heard him? She'd be like, tell him I said go to hell too.
Oh my gosh. Like,
all the time.
Those were our goals. Raise our kids with one baby daddy. Make sure we stay together for our kids so they can see.
Right.
Like, these are goals we set for ourselves in our lives as minorities.
As soon as I felt found out I was pregnant and I felt that little bite, I was like, I'm not gonna be like my mom. I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna, I'm gonna take care of you. Even when I feel myself, and I don't want to say nothing about my siblings, nothing negative about my siblings, but one in particular, like I see them with addiction and all that kind of stuff, and I feel like it's genetics, and that could happen to me. I could be that way too. That's why I don't go down that road. I just don't even have the temptations to be addicted to anything.
Right.
But I see that in them, and I'm just like, damn, that's a generational, that's a curse that's in them. It's like in his DNA because his mom had an addiction.
You know what? I don't agree. I think it was more so he's one of the oldest.
Yeah.
He's one of the oldest, so that's all he witnessed. It wasn't genetics. It was all that he was around.
Right.
Like drug abuse,
but I
alcoholism.
think that his addictive state, though, I feel like he cannot get away from it, and maybe it's in his genetics. But I like to drink, for example.
Right.
But I don't have to have it.
Right.
I can say I ain't gonna drink this week, and it ain't gonna be shit.
Yeah.
But for him, he cannot do that.
Like I remember, he was good for a whole year. He said, and that was
more than that.
It was a celebration. I remember, y'all. I've been clean for a whole year. Y'all ain't gonna throw me a party. Like these are goals and happinesses in our family. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like no.
But we also was very proud of him too. But we also in the back of our head we was like,
it ain't gonna last.
Give me longer than a year. Prove it to me
yeah.
first. Like,
it ain't gonna last.
Yeah. It's a problem.
It didn't last.
And I just feel like addiction is something that runs in your blood. Like it's something that if your parent was an addict, that it may be something that affects you. Like I was watching the Candy interview with Nivea, and she was talking about how her mom and dad were addicts. And then she got addicted to cocaine, and she thought that was the end of her. Like she said, she was digging through the carpet looking for little cocaine she could dig up, and she felt like it had overcome her and just taken her out. And she told her kids, like, don't ever try anything, because in our family, when you try something, you get addicted. Like she told her kids that, like, don't even think you can handle it. Don't even think you have it under control. Like I did. She thought she had it under control. And she was telling them, like, I thought I had it under control, and it took over my life, and I thought I was going to die, and so don't try it, because in our family, you get addicted. And I'm just like, I was like, yeah, because, your parents be addicts, and, like, my dad liked to drink, and I like to drink, so I think I got it from him. I just feel like I got it from him.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But I think it's more so of, it's what you've seen, it's what you was around. You wanted to try it. Oh, when I get of age, I'm
gonna try it.
Yeah. So, and then you get stuck in a way. Like that's something.
You know what? When I was about 8, as soon as I turned 18, I was so excited to go out and buy a pack of cigarettes because everybody around me smoked cigarettes. And I did, and I was like, ew.
Exactly.
But I kept trying to see what they liked about it so much, but it just didn't stick with me. I just didn't like it. It just wasn't for me, and it wasn't cute. And I was like, ugh, why? Like, why do y'all smoke?
I hate any type of smoke, like
except that hookah smoke.
I was just gonna say, I just got attached to hookah, but I was, heavy on the I don't want no smokers.
I know.
It's disgusting. It reeks. But like I said, in our family, drug addiction was a problem. Teenage pregnancy was an issue. All that.
Not being able to stay in a stable relationship was an issue.
Yeah, and I think those generational curses were, pretty much forced upon us.
I can't speak for any of the boys in our family, but I know some of the stuff that they witnessed the women in our family go through, I'm pretty sure it affected their marriages and their relationships.
Definitely.
Cause
Definitely.
also we witnessed a lot of women in our family get their ass beat. And it was a point
We
of
did.
like,
We did.
it was a
what
normal
said.
thing.
That, yeah.
And they
You're right. I never even thought that.
Yes. And that affected me to the point where I can't be in a relationship and a dude even try to raise his voice at me. I'll be like, nigga, who is you talking to?
Or I'm fighting back, and it's the
What-
end of that. Like,
I'm throwing first licks up in here because ain't nobody finna be dragging me. I watched my mama get hit a lot of times. I've seen my mother wear sunglasses because her eye was swole, and it was because a nigga hit her in it.
that one image, I've
Yes.
seen that three generations, like in my household. Like,
Right.
it's crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to, and it affects you to the point where you almost, a dude can't say nothing negative to you because you're gonna be like, what? You gonna start bucking up first. It makes you very defensive and aggressive
Definitely.
because you don't want nobody doing that to you.
It makes you go into a relationship like with one eye open, so to speak. You know, like, no, I ain't finna do this shit. No, not here. Nope, not me. I'm not finna do this. No.
I wish you would try to black my eye. Boy, you gonna be
Right? Both
Okay.
of us gonna have a black eye.
You gonna
It's
be
gonna
right
be me.
here. I ain't gonna be the only one leaving out of here like that. That's, yeah, that definitely affected me because I watch my mama get hit.
Yeah, and we pride ourselves like, no, it's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. It's not gonna be me. You not finna make me into a statistic.
Right.
Because you were.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's how generational curses are. And it's up to the next generation to break that shit. And I don't know what my child gonna try to break. I don't know. I think I'm pretty awesome, But I would, if I had to give my child any advice about moving forward, it would just to be take your time, know what you want, go after it, don't give up. You can do anything, and you don't need a man to do it. But I definitely say if you find a man you love, you should definitely try to be with that person and make that shit work.
Communication.
Yeah.
Communication, that's another thing I feel. Like, even for my kid's father, generational curses, I feel like he felt that so much.
Yeah.
Communication was an issue. Because he would always say, I'm not going to be like my daddy. This and the other. My daddy, my mom, my daddy. Because we were forced to witness that and see that. And it either gets to us in the sense that I'm just going to be like them, or I'm going to rise above and do better for myself.
Right.
I was having a conversation with my daughter and my son yesterday. As a mother, I like to, be a mother. Like, indulge, let them know. And it was simply the sense of always know that mama has your back. You can come to me and tell me anything and everything, no matter how good, no matter how bad, no matter how nasty, I'm going to be here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have your back 100%.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you know when you're wrong or right, but I'm going to still be there. I don't feel like I have it.
Oh my God. Don't do it. I feel like you supposed to cry.
No, it's my throat.
I'm like, why is her voice getting shaky? Don't cry, please.
I'm not going to cry.
Okay.
I'm a crybaby, y'all.
She is. And her voice started getting like that, her crybaby voice. So I was like, don't do it. Please don't.
But seriously, in everything that I've been through, difficult or hard, I felt like I didn't have anybody to go to and let them know that this is what I'm dealing with. How can I rise above? Can you help me sort it out? I didn't have that. So I went to them to let them know. I called them in the room. We sat on the bed. Look at me in my face. I'm here for you regardless of whatever it is. Because children need that.
They do.
They need to know that there's somebody in the world that cares, that they can lean on.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a generational curse that I will break with my babies.
Right.
Because they're going to always have.
Right. Yes. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had that conversation with any of my parents or parental figures in my life.
Right.
That I can go to them and tell them anything. It's like you almost embarrassed to tell them anything negative about yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, or tell them, go to them and say, I can't handle this. Like, I remember when I first was going through my separation, I didn't tell nobody for weeks. I was suffering in that house, you know, and finally one day I was at a job training, I think, or something, and that's all that was on my mind, to the point where I broke down and I called my daddy, and I'm surprised that's the first person I called, because he is so hard, you know, he is like you don't have to kiss ass, you can get through anything, like, strong person. So I definitely, and he comforted me and motivated me, and I was like, I made the right decision in calling him. That was the right person for me to call. Like, I didn't know what to call, I just wanted my daddy.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was crying on the phone. He just was like, baby, stop crying, you know, it's gonna be okay. You can do this. You don't need nobody that don't want to be with you. Go on, you are strong enough to get through this. And when I got through it, he let me know how proud he was. And that, it meant so much to me, because we didn't have like a really, really close, not that he was there all the time. He bought me whatever I wanted, but we didn't have a like one-on-one emotional, and not until I got grown.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
And it's something you could have used like growing up. I'm sure of it.
Yeah.
I need this shit right now.
Because if I would have had that, I feel like throughout, when he hit me with that, I would have been able to walk away a lot easier. But like I said, trying to break that generational curse and keep my family together, that was a big part of me not walking away so easily. Not willing to let it go, because I had to keep my family together, man. I went into that thing like, this is it. You my partner, I'm your partner, these are kids, we in this for life. I went into it like that, and so that just shattered my poor little heart when it didn't work out like that.
Yeah. I always say that I'm only going to get married one time. Right. No more. Like, if you propose marriage to me, then no, there's no divorce.
There's no divorce. That's the
we're
same
in
way.
this.
And you know what? That's sad, because sometimes shit just don't work out.
You're right.
And hey, sign them papers.
Usher, sign them papers.
Let that usher go. Play that little usher or whatever. Sign the papers. Let that shit go, because it might be another motherfucker out there that's gonna do you right. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be willing to open up and let that in. I can understand not want to have no more kids, because I don't want two baby daddies, but if you fall in love with that person, you're gonna want to have that child, and you won't want to give them that, and you won't want to share a child with that person, and that's okay. It's okay to have more than one baby daddy, but what we're saying is it affected our decision, right, in our prior relationships, like we did, like it was a bad thing, because they made it seem like it, you know, they made it seem like niggas wasn't shit, and you can't trust them, and don't be going out here. You see what happened to me? I had two baby daddies. None of them motherfuckers is here. You know, stuff like that. And that sticks with us. And it makes our decision. But it's nothing wrong with having two baby daddies.
I also think our family, in some kind of way, generationally, depended upon government assistance. Yeah. And it's forced upon us to do the same thing.
Yeah, and if we say we don't want it, they be like,
"Girl, you stupid as hell."
Yeah.
You know me, you right. What the hell you mean? You all want?
You know you can go over here and get it.
Right?
We don't want it.
Like, it's too many other families out there who need.
You know how you do that though. You know how you do that, and I learned this in the past, because it was forced upon me too to do this and that to get the free shit and da. Just say okay, and then don't do it.
That's what I say.
That's all you have to do.
Like, no.
Did you go put that application in over there?
Yes, ma'am.
I sure did. But
we telling on us.
But I'm gonna say this though, when sometimes they right though. Sometimes those things help. Because when I got kicked out on my ass and was told I didn't want to be with no more, I ain't had no fucking job. Yeah. I I ain't have nowhere to really go but to stay in that house and suffer and watch this man live his happy-go-lucky ass life with another bitch right in front of my face. And my matriarch said, go over there and pull this application in so you can get the fuck away from there. And that's what I did. And guess what? They called me and I went. Me and my kids had somewhere to go.
Right.
So I'm gonna say that it came in handy at that time. But sometimes it be like that's a stepping stone for me.
Right.
That's not gonna be my life.
Exactly.
I don't want to be over there.
Exactly. Like,
I don't want to be in Haverstock forever. And I'm not, listen, if you over there, that's your business. But Kenya don't want to be there. And so that's why, that's a stepping stone. It's not your life. Exactly. I'm not going to be 60 over there with no retirement, no nothing. It's still, no, not I. You can do it, sis. That's your life. You do your business. I don't know what your circumstances are. But nothing is, I'm going to hustle until I can get me and my kids the fuck up out of there.
Exactly. Let you dare. I feel like let you dare dream and have a goal, aspirations. You
be better than them.
You better not tell them.
They gonna feel like, but you know what? They taking this shit personal, and it really ain't.
It's not personal. It's just me wanting to do better.
Damn, I'm babysitting.
I was finna grab yours because you was babysitting.
No, I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah. Side note: Hennessy and orange juice is my new go-to drink. That's what I be drinking. She wasn't light on the Hennessy though, y'all. So I don't know what we about to do after this, but listen. But that's my drink, Hennessy and orange juice, or pineapple juice too. Hennessy and pineapple juice. That's my drink. So we've been talking for a minute, y'all, because we feel deeply about. Sometimes we can start talking and forget we actually feeling. So I just want to say, generational curses really affect the ongoing generation. So generations before y'all, come on now. And it's crazy because when they get grandkids, it's totally different. Girl. It's totally like, why these little motherfuckers is running over you like this? And you was so hard on me. So much leniency. We used to get up on Saturday mornings and scrub baseboards. Yes. You understand me? But these little monsters can drop Capri Sun packets and stuff all over the place, and she run behind them and clean it up. First of all, they can get Capri Sun pouches. We had a jug of juice and a box of chicken, baby. And a loaf of bread, honey. Let me come in here with a jug of juice and a box of chicken for my kids. They're going to be like, what is this? What a food is? I want McDonald's. Yeah. I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A or something. Church's chicken? My kids, baby, they don't know nothing about church chicken. Can I get an apple pie? Like, my kids want to get the milkshakes and and that's probably what you know what they get it. They get it because we didn't get it. That's and the problem. Then that constructs spoiled little kids running around, don't know nothing. They don't know real. Baby, let's close this up. We've been talking we've been talking a good little minute. This is gonna be a long one, y'all. We'll never try to hold y'all long. But at the end of every episode, we like to shout out a black-owned business. So today, I want to shout out another podcast that kind of was like a little inspiration to me. You know, I always want to get on Facebook and YouTube and talk, and I always been nervous about it, but I watch them do their thing. So I just want to shout out two men, and in opinion, they have a podcast, and I love to hear men's opinions about everything. Yeah, I love to hear what they got to say. So I really like it, and y'all should definitely tune in. They're on Facebook, I think on Mondays and Fridays. I don't want to be wrong, but I definitely know that they're on YouTube, so check them out. They always talking about some great topics about relationships, and ladies, you know you love to hear what a man got to say about love and shit. Yeah. So check out Two Men in an Opinion, their podcast. It's on YouTube. So shout out to Two Men in an Opinion. And break them generational curses, y'all. Love on them kids, man. Don't feel bad, mamas and daddies and all y'all before us. We still love y'all. Y'all taught us a lot. We love y'all. Right. Just don't expect us to be what you were, because we're looking at you guys and we're wanting better for ourselves and for our children. And remember some of the things you say
to your children, that shit stick with them. You may not think it, they remember, but they remember, because I remember shit that was said to me. So I'm just saying.
Yes. I remember everything. That's why I personally choose to hold everything in.
But I love y'all. I'm gonna give y'all flowers while y'all here, because I still love y'all. Fucks with y'all here, you know that. But some of the stuff y'all did, she taking my drink. Some of the stuff y'all did affected us heavy, and I know some of my other cousins can relate. But y'all go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. We love y'all. Peace out.